Here are 2 tips to help you read books. If you're someone who is a booklet, you don't read any books, or you try to read books and then you give up, these tips are going to change your life. These are going to help you go from a smooth brain, tiny brain, to a big brain book wizard, big brain literature aficionado, right? So 2 tips. Number 1, the 1% rule. This changed my life. This is one of the best things I ever came up with for myself. Now, maybe other people have done it, but whatever, for me. So basically, you take any book and you take the number of pages and you divide it by 100, and that's 1%. And if you read 1% per day, no matter what book it is, no matter how difficult it is, whether it's the Brothers Karamazov or Being in Time or some extremely difficult long book, if you read 1% per day, you will be through that book in 100 days. And if it's a really good book, if it's a book like the Brothers Karamazov that'll change your life, that's a worthwhile time investment, 100 days. And there might be days where you read a little bit more, there might be days where you read a little bit less, but you just keep going, you just keep thinking in terms of percentages, and you're going to get through that book in 100 days. So the 1% rule, that's number 1. Number 2, have 2 books that you're reading at a time. Always have a serious book, a book that you want to read that is important to you, whether it's philosophy or history or important literature or whatever, but then a fun book that no matter how stupid it is or how busy you are or bored you are, you still want to read it because it's fun. It can be a fantasy fiction novel, it can be a pop science book, it could be anything, but a serious book and a fun book. And you try to read 1% of each of them per day, and the fun book will probably be shorter than the serious book, and so 1% of that might only be like 3 pages, but then you get through 2 books in 100 days, easy peasy. If you start with the 1% per day, and it turns into 2%, it turns into 3%. You start to enjoy the book more, you start to go faster, you figure out the author's pacing and their writing style, but let's do it. Let's read books!